So a couple of weeks ago, we had a whole bunch of Transformers 1 movie toy listings, specifically stuff from their main line. And due to recent events and us seeing brand new product for the very first time and how they look, along with JT Prime 17 confirming some of those code names, we now have a better idea of what we are going to be getting for Wave 2, Wave 3, for multiple different price points and what characters we can expect. Now we could revisit these listings with their code names and now know what we're going to be getting. So we're going to go through these today with the brand new information we got, using this as a kind of a Rosetta Stone in a lot of ways, along with JT Prime's confirmations of some of these characters, and also talk about some new Earthspark items. Not big, but interesting to say the least. So first we're going to start with the Transformers 1 Cog Changers. That was our one-step flip gimmick kind of stuff. We talked about the Wave 1 stuff, the Bumblebee, the Wheeljack, and the Arachnid that we're finally getting again. These were code names Ace, Rounder, and Capital. That was Wave 1. We have Wave 2 now, Overlord, not that Overlord, Admiral, and Sergeant. We've now learned that Overlord is Megatron, Admiral is Optimus Prime, and Sergeant is Sentinel Prime. So Wave 2 for the Cog Changers is going to have a Megatron, a Optimus, and a Sentinel. When we move on to the Prime Changers, that's what our mainline deluxes are going to be. We already saw Wave 1 with Optimus Prime and Alpha Trion. Their listings were Admiral, again, that's what Optimus is, and Alphabet, Alpha Trion, see what's going on there. But what is Wave 2? So we have a Wave 2 for Sergeant and Ace. So that means that we're going to be getting a Prime Changers mainline deluxe of Sentinel Prime and Bumblebee. So we'll get better figures, at least of Sentinel Prime, instead of just a little Rock'em Sock'em, which we're going to be talking about in a moment too. We also have the Mega Changers. We've seen nothing of these yet, but the general assumption that these are our Voyager scale for our main line. And Wave 1 is going to have an Overlord and an Admiral, so we're going to get an Optimus and a Megatron in a much more larger price point, as well as a Ace and a Corporal. The Ace is Bumblebee. The Corporal, according to JT Prime from confirmations, is Starscream. So we're going to be getting a Starscream in that Voyager price point along with Bumblebee. Then we have the Robot Battlers. That was our Rock'em Sock'em we talked about. We already saw the individual ones with the Sentinel Prime, the Bumblebee, and the Alita, Sergeant, Ace, and Lieutenant. But we have a Wave 2. And Wave 2 is going to have Alphabet, Corporal, and Halfback. Now, Alphabet is Alpha Trion. Corporal is Starscream. We don't have a confirmation on who Halfback is yet, so stay tuned for that one. We don't know anything of that character through any previously existing listings. The Robot Battlers multi-pack, of course, is the Optimus and Megatron we already talked about. And then they also had the listing here for the Power Flip Admiral, which is Power Flip Optimus Prime, our big price point $49.99 item that we have for this year. We also had those listings for the two Battle Masks. We know what those are now. That's the Optimus one and the Rise of the Beast B repack for those two. And then we have a whole bunch of other gimmick stuff. We have that Cybertron launchers. We don't know what that is. The Battle Pack 2. We don't know what that is. The MV8 Platoon High Commander. According to JT Prime 17, he says that this is the Quintesson leader. So at least we know what the the Platoon High Commander refers to. It refers to a Quintesson. We have an Ultimate Energon Admiral. We don't know what that is, but it's an Ultimate Energon Admiral, so that means an Ultimate Energon Optimus Prime at some point. We also have an Energon Reveal Op, probably also Optimus, maybe, Orion Pax, who knows. Power Glow Ace. Now that we know that Ace is Bumblebee, that means we're going to be getting some kind of Power Glow Bumblebee figure. We have Bot Shot 2-pack. I wonder what that is. Racing Bot Shot 2-pack. We got Racing Blast. We got Racing Warrior 3-pack. Racing Changer 2-pack. Whole bunch of odd stuff with no clear indication of what those will be or what characters they are. It is interesting to see the Bot Shot trademark kind of come back. But that's it more or less. So now we have a little bit of a code. I'll put it up on the screen here of what each one of these correspond to for the time being. And if you do see any of these code names applied to other sort of listings, it'll give you an idea of who those characters are in corresponding to that. Now, we also have some Transformers Earthspark stuff, just two little items. One of them being is via Australia and one of their retail computer listings. We also got some merchandise images here. of Wave 5 of the Tacticons. That's our one-step, stick your finger in it and it transforms on your finger figure. A lot of them are repacks of, unfortunately, previously existing figures that we've already gotten, but part of this wave is one brand new one, and it is that of Starscream. Now, why is this a big deal? As crazy as this sounds, this is probably the most accurate Earthspark Starscream figure we've gotten up to this point, and it's trapped behind a silly Tacticon figure. Kind of the same fate that both RC and Hashtag have at the moment, as their best and only figures are Tacticons. So Starscream up to this point has just had figures that were straight up repaints of his previous Cyberverse versions, but be it the Warrior class or the Deluxe class, and those aren't sculpted to look like his Earthspark counterpart. Even the Takara repaint that they've done and released is based off of that Cyberverse Deluxe, which has better paint, but still doesn't match the tooling, the sculpt of the animation model. Or at least when you looked at this Tacticon here, with its tiny little robot mode, at least the head sculpt, the chest, and the alt mode do match how the animation model works. So if you're a fan of Starscream, this unfortunately is the best version of that character for the time being. The only other thing to just mention is also was found in the UK at a TJ Maxx. There was a folding inline scooter with some Earthspark decos and all kinds of stuff on it. So if you want to have some extra Earthspark merchandise of a scooter that is out there, it was found for $14.99 in British pounds or euros, and that comes to about $16, a little bit over $16 USD. So that's probably going to be showing up in your TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Winners, whatever you want to call it. And that's it, more or less. That's all we're going to talk about today on Monday. But we'll definitely have more news later this week, so stay tuned on the Transformer Slag podcast. And as always, thank you for listening.